James Freeman continues to troll Edgewood New Jersey mayor after privacy complaints. Turtleboy and Grant Smith Ellis exchange stupidity following O'Keefe lawsuit announcement. Again! A motion to dismiss is denied in Chille DeCastro's LVMPD lawsuit, plus an actual look at the GoFundMe market. On this edition of Auditing Insanity. Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the Auditing Insanity Newscast. I'm Jim Finch and I'm going to be your host for three big stories on Grant Smith Ellis, Turtleboy, James Freeman, and Chille DeCastro, plus an actual look at the GoFundMe market today. We start with a special thanks tonight to both the legendary Chille and the mysterious cat who have stepped forward to help out with all 23 known cats we've either housed or fed on the property in recent weeks. We're good for another month or two on wet cat food. If anyone would like to contribute, we still need flea treatments as it's peak flea season, and we do use those treatments for an antihistamine once a month for one of our older cats. Please see our Amazon registry for more information, and thank you in advance. We also have an Amazon registry of stuff that will eventually be purchased for use with our production here and with the paper. Anyone wishing to help out can see that list. We're not begging though, it's stuff we'll eventually get to, but it's always nice to have. On that note, a big thank you for all those who contributed as we ask you to focus on GoFundMe LIA shows signs of life. Sean Paul Long Island audits Ria's help with billboard truck purchase to expose tyranny. Fund showed minor signs of life on Monday with a $5 donation that put it in second place for the day behind the usual $10 donation to our own ongoing expenses fund. The donation is the first in 28 days to the fund, ending a drought for most of his ongoing campaigns, as only his Support the Fight Against Tyranny and Corruption fund has had a donation this month. His unlawful arrest and constitutional rights violation campaign sits at $2,326 out of a $10,000 goal and last saw a donation 2 months ago. The Fund Legal Defense Against Unlawful Arrest Fund hadn't had a donation in a month's time and sits at $16,326 out of a $20,000 goal. Sitting near death for 7 months, his help with criminal defense attorney for this case campaign sits at $21,650 out of a $25,000 goal. 5 months dormant, his Help LIA with legal fees to fight tyrants lawsuit fund sits at $1,891 out of a $2,500 goal. It's unclear what prompted the donation to this fund to buy his billboard truck, as he's already purchased the vehicle, though Ria's has been in the news lately for obnoxious and trolling behavior not directly related to his billboard truck. Ria's made the news over the weekend for participating in Josh Abrams' ambush of a security guard who appeared as a hero on the Dr. Phil taping about auditors with Abrams. Abrams used Ria's to bash the man, whose encounter with Ria's was the topic of the show, allowing Ria's to say the man was a liar about the encounter and accuse the man of inventing the story of a veteran who committed suicide after his encounter with Ria's. Ria's, to the cheers of Abrams' side chat, was relentless towards the man, questioning his role as a security guard and demanding that the man acknowledge that his only role as a security guard is to observe. Despite his claims of only working alone, Ria's apparently worked with another auditor during his 2023 encounter with the security guard, as the second auditor randomly appeared to help distract guards and to defend Ria's. Ria's has also appeared in a collaboration video with comedian Tua Pre, though claimed the videos were just a coincidence and not in the least pre-planned. The subject of Riaz's tremendous financial success has also come up, with YouTuber Mark Stout pointing out on a Frauditor Troll live panel that Riaz is a trust fund baby and doesn't need the use of crowdfunding campaigns to raise money, as he receives money from his family. Riaz has downplayed his tremendous earnings from YouTube and his crowdfunding campaigns, allowing the campaigns to remain up long after the court cases involved in the campaigns have ended. On that note, if you'd like to make us rich beyond our wildest dreams, hey, $20 is rich, and all that good stuff, and force me to keep writing this column each day, we do have a GoFundMe of our own. All proceeds go to keeping the lights on, eating, and writing new stories to feature here and on ReallyCoolSite.org. Freeman continues troll of Edgewood mayor. Responding to a series of privacy complaints by Mayor of Edgewood, New Jersey, Michael McPartland, on Monday, independent journalist James Freeman Springer made a series of calls to the Edgewood Police Department requesting welfare checks on the mayor. Freeman called the City of Edgewood's 911 emergency services line to inquire about the health of Mayor McPartland and to check and see if he had clean underwear following Mayor McPartland's alleged abuse of YouTube's privacy complaint system. YouTuber Freeman explained that he has friends who contact subjects of his previous videos to inform them that they can complain to YouTube about their personal information being distributed on the service. Freeman admitted that they then get trolled again, as Freeman gets a copy of the complaint and can make a second video about the subject's attempt to have his channel taken down. Freeman explained that there's a system in place to protect a person's private information or non-public information, such as social security numbers and bank account numbers, from distribution on the service. He claimed that he did not distribute either in his previous video about the mayor, released Sunday, and that had he had that information, he would not have risked his channel by putting it on YouTube. In the previous video, Freeman and a group of other First Amendment auditors visited the City Hall of Edgewood, New Jersey. Again, according to Freeman, the building is routinely locked down, as no filming is allowed in the building. Freeman and his group were allowed into the building and immediately started filming, making their way to the mayor's office, where Freeman claims the mayor hid from them and then summoned police to clear the men from the building. No arrests were made in the incident, as it resolved peacefully. Freeman said that the privacy complaints began soon after the first video was released on Sunday, with nearly a half a dozen received as of his Monday live stream. False privacy complaints are a continuing trend on YouTube, with Irish Demon's channel allegedly receiving multiple complaints from the Welsh News Network owner Daniel Jones in recent times, threatening its existence. Our own channel received a strange privacy complaint within the past 2 weeks, days after monetization. There was a complaint in the system, however we were not able to see the details of the complaint, what video it was associated with, or who filed the complaint before the warning resolved itself. We will continue to update Freeman's situation as he provides updates. Motion to dismiss denied in DeCastro case. Judge Andrew Gordon denied a motion to dismiss Jose Chille DeCastro's second amended complaint in his lawsuit against the Las Vegas Metro Police Department on Monday, calling the motion moot. Judge Gordon essentially said that because the defense's motion to dismiss and their motion for summary judgment were so similar, he was denying the motion to dismiss to focus on the arguments that both sides had presented in the motion for summary judgment. The motion for summary judgment has lingered long enough that DeCastro went from serving time for the base charges of obstructing an officer and interfering in a traffic stop when it was filed to now having the conviction overturned and the crime stricken from his record. DeCastro is now arguing that the State Court of Appeals finding must be accepted by the federal court, as it heard all the evidence that DeCastro has presented and found in his favor. The defense counters that the judge in the federal case has already sided with them on many things that the state court differed on, that they were not part of the state court case or allowed to argue on their behalf, so the state court's ruling is meaningless. DeCastro was arrested in Las Vegas in March of 2023 after he attempted to talk to a driver who was actively involved in a traffic stop. DeCastro initially refused to follow instructions by Officer Brandon Bork on the scene and was eventually arrested for interfering in the stop and obstructing the officer. The YouTuber was convicted on both offenses in Nevada State Court in March of 2024, with an appeals court overturning the decision in July of this year. DeCastro filed suit in federal court against the LVMPD, claiming various offenses including permanent nerve damage, excessive use of force, violation of multiple rights, illegal search and seizure, and supervisor liability. Nearly half of his charges were thrown out last fall with prejudice, with the other half thrown out with leave to refile them if specific needs were met, leaving just the excessive force and supervisor liability charges left without questions. Ignoring the rulings, DeCastro eventually refiled all of the charges, again with their original stipulations, resulting in both the motion to dismiss the second amended complaint and the motion for summary judgment by the defense. Judge Gordon had ordered both sides to update their arguments based on the overturning of DeCastro's conviction, with both sides complying with the order last week with briefings filed on August 23, 2024. The ruling by Judge Gordon is expected later this summer. Turtleboy Smith Ellis trade blows again. There were instant ramifications after the O'Keefe family filed their civil suit against Karen Reed on Monday, with Turtleboy Aiden Kearney leading the charge of anti-O'Keefe family Twitter posts accusing members of the family of financial discrepancies. Kearney wrote, "Paul and Peggy are using a twice-orphaned girl as part of their lawsuit against Karen Reed and 2 bars in Canton, and they've gotten her to change her story about what Karen said the morning the McAlberts killed John O'Keefe. Everything in their hilariously stupid lawsuit is proven wrong by testimony given in court by the Commonwealth's witnesses, and they've opened up the doors for the McAlberts to perjure themselves in depositions. Auntie Bev won't be able to protect them in Plymouth Superior Court. Paul says Karen Reed's legal defense strategy has caused him emotional distress, so much distress he came up with $230,000 last October to add an addition to his house, after getting a loan from a bank where his mother-in-law is on the board of directors. But you can't question Paul O'Griff's motives or honesty because you're attacking the victim's family." He also tweeted, "Breaking news, Karen Reed told me on record that the Vanity Fair article on her will include all of her attorney's fee and expenses, as well as her assets with receipts. Unlike many others in this case, she clearly has nothing to hide. Expected publication date is early December." Kearney was countered by prominent Reed critic Julie Carpenter, who wrote, "Calling all Karen Reed cultists, Karen needs $2 million. Let's go, all you grifting content creators. Grovel to your audience for donos for your killer queen." And pretty funny watching FKR supporters twisting themselves into pretzels trying to make Karen wasn't drunk happen in the civil case, not realizing the ramifications of what they're saying. A few things that support Karen being heavily inebriated that are documented. Karen's blood draw the following morning showing BAC was likely between 0.13 and 0.29% at the time of the accident. Karen not remembering leaving Waterfall with John. Carrie Roberts observing Karen was still visibly drunk the next morning. 7 drinks on video at C.F. McCarthy's. We are dealing with a preponderance of evidence here, and there is more than enough, in my opinion, to reasonably ascertain she was drunk. And being drunk is a good thing for Karen. If she's not drunk, there's an intent issue. Why on earth would anyone reverse at a high rate of speed on snowy ground towards a pedestrian? Without the alcohol, the circumstances of hitting John start to look more intentional and less like an accident. Intentional means her insurance likely won't defend the civil suit, and intentional means murder on the criminal side. Finally, Grant Smith Ellis weighed in on Kearney. "All right, folks. It is clear that there's a network of operatives in the orbit of Aiden Turtleboy Kearney who support releasing court documents about children and covering up serious allegations of rape. I will not stop until you all are criminally charged." He also posted, "Boom, confirmation that Christy Citron is indeed being used as a proxy by Turtleboy to threaten a victim of rape leap into silence. It appears that Citrone hid in plain sight for months and referred that victim to at least one lawyer close to Mark Randazza, who works for Kearney. Remember that all tweets are the views of those who tweeted them. Please make up your mind as to the facts reported in them based on the character and quality of work presented by the reporters. We will continue to monitor the continued mess in Boston as new tweets present themselves. And we're back. Again, special thanks to all of you who have contributed to our many campaigns. We're slowly but surely getting on our feet and moving forward. A big shout out to both Tomatoes and the lovely Rose, who are under the weather today. Rose squeaked at me earlier to tell me she wasn't going to be on tonight's all-star panel, and I responded with eep oop ork aha, and she didn't know what I meant. One day, she'll see the Jetsons and figure it out. Or maybe not. The Jet Who's were before even my time. We're late again with the papers, so we're running on to tell you about the new stuff tomorrow. Take care, all. See you tomorrow.